Hey, I didn't see you there. Welcome back to Warner Rocks News. This month's topic is integrity, specifically on peer pressure.
So what is peer pressure?
First of all, peer pressure is one of the most important topics to talk about because it's one of the greatest influences in teenagers' lives. Peer pressure is social pressure. It's peers, friends, classmates, people your same age trying to influence or pressure you to do something that may be going against your own values, your own beliefs, your own expectations for yourself. And one of the reasons why it's difficult to deal with the peer pressure is because everyone needs to feel like they belong, and so they will agree to do something in order to fit in. Sometimes they'll agree to do something because they want to be like their peers that they admire, or they want to have what their peers have. So peer pressure is a really, really powerful dynamic in the life of a teenager, but it's also very powerful in the lives of adults too.
How does peer pressure affect students' lives?
Well, as I said, it's a very, very powerful influence because teenagers are in the process of kind of separating from their parents a little bit and discovering who they are. And what I mean by that is you are raised by your parents with certain values and certain beliefs and kind of the knowing what's right or wrong. But as you become a teenager, you have to make those beliefs your own. So one of the things that happens is during the developing age of a teenager, a lot of our young people are looking for acceptance and validation, again, because they want to fit in. Now, peer pressure can be positive or negative, but negative peer pressure is what young people struggle dealing with. You can feel pressure to do things that you wouldn't normally do that you know aren't right for you. There's a lot of negative consequences, such as there are young people who actually feel pressured to shoplift, or they go to a party and they feel pressured to drink alcohol and they're underage, or to smoke or try drugs. So there can be some very serious consequences to negative peer pressure. What I've learned is that people who are very low in self-confidence or who tend to be followers are more susceptible to negative peer pressure. We're seeking approval of our friends because we want to be accepted. So people who are unsure of themselves, they don't really know who they are, they don't know what their own values are, or they're inexperienced in dealing with peer pressure, they're going to be more apt to have a difficult time resisting it. I do want to highlight just for a moment, though, that peer pressure can be positive. So for example, if you choose your friends, which you should choose your friends. If you choose positive, trustworthy friends, then peer pressure can be helpful because they can give you encouragement. They can talk to you about decisions you're trying to make and help you decide if it's a good decision. They also can introduce you to new activities and experiences you might not otherwise try. For example, you may never think about playing basketball, but your friend says, let's go play basketball. You go and you discover you like it, and you might even discover that you're good at it. The reason why I want to talk about peer pressure is because every decision you make at this point in your life moving forward will determine your future.
How can students resist peer pressure?
The first most important strategy to resist peer pressure is to have multiple peer groups. So for example, you might have a group of friends at school. Great. They might even be positive friends, but you need to have another peer group somewhere else, either a peer group with your church or a peer group with maybe if you're on a soccer team or you're playing involved in some other club. You want to have multiple peer groups so that if one set of your friends or classmates are doing something that is not something you feel like you should do, you can choose to be with another set of friends. The most important thing about dealing with peer pressure is learning to listen to yourself. If you listen to your gut, that inner voice that tells you what is right or wrong for you, if you learn to respect that voice and listen to that voice, it will help you to deal with peer pressure. Now, it's important that you have a friend or two that share the same interest, the same values, the same beliefs, because it's helpful if there's one other person with you that also is saying, no, we're not going to do this isn't right for us. Another example, which I think this is a great strategy, is to have a bailout phrase, a bailout phrase. And what that means is you're at an activity with friends and you thought you were just going to go there to watch movies and eat popcorn and have fun. But when you get there, you discover there's no parents there. You discover that they actually have alcohol or other items there that are not appropriate to partake of. You can have a bailout phrase where you call home and you simply say something like, Mom, can you come pick me up? I have an earache or I have a stomach ache. So it allows you to discreetly exit a situation that you're very uncomfortable in. Another example is just simply learning to say no. But you have to develop a sense of identity and self-confidence. And again, saying no, I have a soccer game tomorrow, so I don't really want to mess that up. I want to be prepared to play soccer. So having some kind of an excuse that you can use is very helpful, and simply saying no, blame it on your parents. Oh my gosh, no, I can't do that. If my mom ever found out, she would kill me. They get that. So there's different ways that you can get out of difficult peer pressure situations, but you have to plan for it. A lot of young people, they don't plan. And so if you don't plan what you're going to say and practice what you're going to say, chances are you're going to be susceptible to giving in to negative peer pressure.
You want one? I got some here. I also got a lighter.
No!
Madison, I'm sorry. You have lung cancer.
Oh my god.
It's because of the cigarettes.
No.
As you can see, if you fall into peer pressure, bad things can happen. Well, see you next time.